So in this chapter, we're going to talk about color and background colors, setting both the foreground and the background of various elements to have colors, and in the case of backgrounds, images. In this first video, we're just going to talk about color, and we're just going to look very quickly at how to set color, the foreground color, on elements. And as you can see here, what we have is we have our basic document with all the colors taken out of it, the layout's there and everything, but the colors have been taken away. Except for, there actually are a few, because you can't take away all the color. Text, for example, is black. And the reason that happens is due to the browser. Here in the preferences for the web browser, you can see that text has been configured to default to black. Backgrounds have been configured to default to white. Unvisited links to blue, visited links to purple. So those effectively create CSS rules that the browser applies to this document, and that's why text is black by default. You might not think of that as a style, and yet it is, because if the text had no color, you couldn't see it. It would be completely transparent. So what we see here is our unvisited links, like About Us and Brewing and Drinking up near the top. Those are blue. The visited links, products, and Contact Us, those are purple. There is a little bit of color, and that's in the images, and that includes the JavaCo across the top of the document. That's an image, just like the picture of the tea kettle and the picture of the tea over to the side. Those just have the colors that are part of the images. I mean, that makes sense. So, with CSS, we can affect the foreground of elements. We can affect the foreground color. Now, what that really means is we can change the text color. So, as an example, we could say that all of our paragraphs are going to have a color of teal, which I don't know why that always makes me think of a duck. But anyway, teal. We hit reload in Firefox, and there you go. We have teal paragraphs. Teal text on a T site. So that just changes the foreground color, which, as I say, is equivalent to the text color. Now, we could also say, for example, H2 color orange. And when we hit reload, the H2 element there turns orange. But notice something interesting. The border turned orange too. Now that doesn't always happen. Why that happened here is that if you go and look at the basic style sheet, there is an H2 here. There's a rule for H2s that says the bottom border should be 1 pixel and solid. But it doesn't say anything about the color. You can, with borders, specify the color directly, and we'll talk about that in a different chapter. But that wasn't done here. It's just border bottom 1px solid. So the way CSS is specified, what it says is, if there's a border, but there wasn't an explicit border color assigned to it, then the color of the border should be taken from the value of color for the element. So when I said color orange, the web browser said, well, I've got this border here, and it doesn't have an explicit value, so I'm going to copy that orange. You can override that. You could say border color black. And having done that, you said color orange, border color black. There you go, a black border. Now, whether or not you want to do that is another question, but you certainly can. If you want to have your border color be different than your text color, then you can have it that way. Or if you want the border color to automatically pick up the color that the text is, you can do that too. Now, there are other ways to specify color than just sort of these blunt force words like orange and black and teal, but we'll see what those are in the next video.